You might have heard about the ACNC register. It's a public database on our website that shows the organisations we've registered as charities. It gives your charity a free online presence, as well as giving the public a new way to find you. It also promotes your charity as having met the requirements of being registered with the ACNC. So let's have a look at what's actually there. Your charity's name and Australian business number will appear on the ACNC register. The name that comes up will be its legal name. For example, the name set out in its trust deed, or the name that was registered when your charity was incorporated. Now, your charity might have other names, so you can also provide the ACNC with additional names, maybe a trading name that your charity is known by in the community. You're also able to provide contact details for your charity. It could be a phone number or an email address. Basically, just some way for members of the public to contact your charity. And remember, if you use an email address, it's a good idea to set up a general address for your charity rather than just using your own personal account. Your charity's subtype of registration also appears. This tells people the category or categories that your charity falls under. For example, advancing education or religion. Then there's the date of your charity's registration. Now, if you registered after the establishment of the ACNC, your charity's date of registration will generally be the date that the decision was made to register your charity. But most charities on the ACNC register were automatically registered as they existed before the ACNC, and their date will show as the 3rd of December 2012, which was the day that the ACNC started operating. Now, we appreciate that most charities have been around for a lot longer, so you can also voluntarily include the date that your charity began operating. You'll also find your charity's responsible persons listed. These people are the members of your governing body, like the board or committee of management, who will have their names and positions displayed. Things like Jane Doe, Director, Joe Bloggs, Chair. One thing you should also know is that the date of birth and contact details of your responsible persons will not appear on the ACNC register. We ask that you give them to us, so if a member of your governing body calls the ACNC, we can confirm that they are who they say they are. It also allows us to identify and contact them if we need to. Your charity's governing documents will also be available on the register for download. These are things that constitute your organisation, like a constitution, rules, church law excerpt or trust deed. Later on, there'll be more information on the register that we'll have collected from your charity's annual information statement. This is how your charity reports to us. It asks things like your charity's size, who your charity benefits, and its planned activities. The annual information statement and any annual financial reports will also be available for download from your charity's entry on the ACNC register. So where do you start? The first thing to do is to search for your own charity on the ACNC register. You may find that some of your information is already available. The reason for this is that when the ACNC was established, we received data about the 56,000 charities that were already registered with the Australian Taxation Office. However, this information may not have been kept up to date, so some of the information we have about charities is old or incorrect. If you look at the register and realise you need to update your charity's details, you can choose a number of ways to do this. You can wait until you submit your first annual information statement, which you can find out more about in our reporting video. The information that you provide in that statement will go on the ACNC register. You can also update your charity's details by using our website. Now, some charities may want to have certain sensitive information withheld from the ACNC register, and this is possible, but there are only limited circumstances in which it can be done. It could be that the information is commercially sensitive and could cause harm. It could be false, confusing, or misleading. It could endanger public safety or fall into another exception, such as if your charity is a private ancillary fund and information is likely to identify a private donor. In most cases, if it falls within one of these categories, the Commissioner must apply what's known as a public interest test before deciding to withhold information. So the Commissioner asks, is the interest of the public that the information be available on the register greater than any harm caused by publishing the information? If not, and it meets one of the criteria, then the information can be withheld. So let's recap. The ACNC register is a public database on our website that shows the organisations we've registered as charities. You should check your charity's entry to make sure the details are up to date, and remember, if there's any information you don't want on the register, you can ask us not to publish it.